What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is Rants.
As always, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Today we're going to be talking about whether Ethan Zobelle was a wasted arc for Sons of Anarchy.
It was definitely a wasted story arc on Sons of Anarchy, basically, because the only point of it was to bring Clay and Jax back together in a peaceful manner so they could go and try to get Abel back. That was it. Because they had him cornered. They were about to kill him. Jax calls Clay and he's like, I need you. And they're like, Clay's like, we got to go. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? He's like, Irish took my grandson. They all leave.
Well, I kind of felt, yes, I would agree with you on that. I kind of feel like the whole season, what was it, season 2?
Season 2,
Season 2. I kind of feel like in season 2, I felt like that was a wasted story because they already had the white supremacist group on there. And they added this white supremacist group. And I'm like,
this whole group,
you've already done this.
This whole group, the league, the whole point of the league being on there was solely, in my opinion, so that Jax and Clay could have all their beef throughout the whole season. And the only point of that league was to bring them back together as father and son when Jim is like, they raped me.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that, but here's the thing. I did not really understand why, of course they killed Weston, but, for her rape. But I did not understand why they were so willing just to let Zobelle go. Like, I get it. It's like his grandson and all that other kind of stuff. But I just kind of felt like, man, they should have. I kind of felt like,
he could have been like, this is how I felt, okay? Hey, you and you, we gotta go. The Irish took my grandson. Tig, you wait, and you kill this son of a bitch when he comes out of here.
Yeah, I mean, there was
you
so
didn't
many.
have to take all of y'all.
Like, why did you need all of them to go get that one?
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. You could have left Tig there to finish Zobelle off.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of felt too. Because what is the point of see, that's always been my biggest problem with Sons of Anarchy, is when there's a problem with Jax, there was always everyone had
me
to
and
go.
you, we disagree on
like,
that.
I hated that about that show.
I know that's how it really is in real life. It's like everybody's gonna do whatever you need, no matter whether who you are, whether you're Jax, Juice, Clay.
Business. But see, in Mayans,
that's not real though.
I know, but in Mayans MC, that I kind of liked their way about it because I felt like they had a life of their own.
See,
and they're different from EZ's life. You get what I mean?
The thing about that, yeah, they are, because EZ's not a patched member.
Well,
that's
I get
the
that.
only difference.
But I mean, you can say the same thing about Angel. I mean, they don't really rush to his side either.
Well, when he finally says she's pregnant with my kid, Bishop's like, okay, we're gonna go do this.
Yeah, because fair enough. I'll give you that. Fair enough. That is a kid, but I kind of just feel like.
When Jax is like, my kid just got kidnapped, everybody's like, oh, we're going to go get your son.
Yeah, but then I kind of feel like that was always my biggest problem with Jax, too, is Jax is that way, but when it's Tig's kid...
Well, Tig's kids were grown and got killed. It wasn't like they had got kidnapped. Because when they thought his daughter got kidnapped and was in there getting raped by that black guy, Jax busted in the door and shot the guy in the back and then realized she was willingly having sex with the guy.
Yeah, but
so he was still doing it for Tig.
Was that the same daughter? I forget.
No, it was a different daughter.
I think that was a different daughter.
The other daughter.
But you see my point
Jax was the one that was there.
I don't think the age really matters in that, because there were so many different ways that I feel like Jax isn't there for the rest of the club, but the club is always there with Jax.
I disagree completely.
Really?
Yeah, I always have.
I just always think that Jax is always the main focus.
We disagreed in the previous video about Jax or Clay being the better president. Y'all check that out. Yeah. But I still say Jax.
You still think Jax? Yeah. See, I think overall, I think Clay had the better know-how of being a leader. I think he kept him out of trouble. He kept things going. I felt like Jax was always there to kind of blow things up.
I think Clay got him in trouble.
I mean, you could say with the gun running or whatever.
It was always Jax that had to be smart enough to get him out of it.
But they're a biker gang that is
Yeah, but not every biker gang is running guns.
Fair enough, but running
they
guns.
do other things.
But that was their way of making money and to get prospects and things.
Yeah,
we've talked about.
Like I said, when Jax went off and killed himself, he should have known they wasn't just going to stop doing what they was going to do.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Maybe if you had lived, they would have followed you.
I feel like that too.
But
I feel like
you should have known when you died that you wasn't getting what you wanted. Your vision of the club was not going to happen. John Taylor was right from the beginning. This was the life and death of Sam Crow.
Well, I mean, okay, when you talk about even Mayans, when it comes to things, I know we were supposed to be on Zobelle, but just let me say this about the Mayans thing.
Zobelle's part of Sons of Anarchy, which is part of Mayans.
Yeah, I always feel like, even in Mayans, Alvarez says, well, this is Jax Teller's wish. I feel like everybody kind of had this.
I agree with you. I agree with you on some of that. Like, I don't think all these outside people would have the loyalty to Jax that they're portraying it to be, but I do see the club themselves.
You kind of feel like Alvarez is more loyal to Jax than Chibbs is at this point.
I do.
I mean, I kind of feel that
on
way.
the Mayans, if you watch the Mayans, you will see this. But,
I kind of agree with
and
that.
even Happy, to an extent, was more loyal to Jax than what Chibbs and them were.
I would agree. I would actually agree with you on that, and I don't really understand why.
I love Chibbs. Don't get me wrong, I do. I loved him all through Sons of Anarchy. I still love him because he's Chibbs. But I think fans are going to see a darker side of Chibbs that we didn't know.
I think they are. I think we're going to see the side of Chibbs when he got kicked out of the IRA.
Or,
it could have been more to that than
there
what
might
he let
have been more to that, but Jimmy O'Fallon was an evil bastard. I couldn't wait for that son of a bitch to die.
He was evil, but I will say this.
He talked about raping that dude's daughter because his wife is starting to get old.
I know.
I'd have killed him right there.
I know. But then he was like, take care of our daughter and, things like that, at the end.
Hey, our girls.
Yeah, our girls. So, I mean, there was a good side to him. He did love her. I
don't think so. I think he's a pedophile.
I took that relationship as being more of a dispute between two guys for a love interest. But you see what I mean?
I don't care how much of a beef I have with you. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about raping your daughter.
Yes, I get that. I mean, but I'm talking about just all things aside. I feel
I don't think that we're going to find out that Chibbs was a bastard and deserved to get kicked out of the IRA.
I don't think
I think that there's going to be a darker side to Chibbs that we don't know about at this point. Like,
it could be.
I think that we're going to find out that he's not the easygoing Scottish guy that we knew on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I think you're going to find.
I think he's going to be the main villain. He's either going to be the main villain in season 3 or he's going to get killed off really early, and Happy's going to be the villain. Is what I think.
I don't think Happy would be a very good villain.
I think he would. I think I would take him. I could take him more seriously as a president of Sam Crow and the villain than I can Chibbs. He's got the killer mentality more than any of them.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've seen so many sides of Happy where that Happy is. Where that Happy's kind of got a soft side, like with his dog.
Only with the dog.
And all the stuff.
That's all of them, though. Like,
I know,
Tig
but
was
I mean...
the same way. I don't think so.
But he's not as cold as maybe what he sometimes lets on.
I think he's...
Even with Jax, you said he was loyal.
Yeah, I think he's colder than Chibbs, though.
Oh, fair enough.
I just think he would be a better leader than Chibbs. Like, a better villain than Chibbs. Like...
I would like to see it either way, to be honest with you. I would really actually...
Yeah, either way they go with it.
I mean, I don't think they can go wrong.
I don't think so either. I can't wait either way, but...
when it comes to the Zobelle thing, I just feel like Zobelle was just a wasted story. I feel like all of these things that we've been talking about now are, were the better parts of things, but I feel like the whole season 2 Zobelle thing, I agree with you. It was just all the way to basically lead up to
bringing Jackson Clay back together,
so that they can go to Ireland. Yeah, so that they can go to Ireland. And I think
Zobelle was a wasted character.
I feel like it actually showed probably
think
a more
maybe
decent side of Clay than what I was used to.
Yeah, that was a touching moment. You know, when
it
Clay
really was, actually.
When Clay turns and he's like, "We gotta go. I know this is the only thing I've had on my mind for the last 3 weeks, but we gotta go because the Irish took my grandson." I almost teared up a little bit.
I know, I did too, because I was like, "Wow, this." When I saw that, when I saw that episode, I was like, "Oh, this might be the actual turning point in their relationship."
I thought it was.
It was going to be,
and I
too.
think Kurt Sutter had plans for it to be, but then was like, "Screw that."
Yeah, no, he's like, "Let's just do the Marilyn Manson rape and juice song." You know,
that was a few
seasons later. But I
think it was like that could have been the turning point for Jax and Clay, or even when Jax helped Clay kill his friend in Ireland.
On this kind of thing,
you know,
see, that was another
or
part.
When the bomb went off and Jax is seeing John, and was like, "Get up, son," and it was actually Clay. That could have been another turning point. Clay was trying to help him through all this, and I think even when Clay was the biggest piece of shit to Jax in the world, he was still trying to help Jax get through things. Like, he wasn't just like...
I feel like, you know, when it come to the Zobelle thing, I felt like that brought out the best in Clay.
Now, there was a comment that I've always wondered about, and maybe we can do a video about it later, was in season 1, when Gemma starts freaking out about Jax getting all spun out about Abel and stuff, and Clay's like, he's fine. And she's like, I just want to make sure he's following in the right father's footsteps. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah. Is that like, who are you referring to?
Are you positive that Clay's not Jax's dad? Because like the reason I say that is every time they show a flashback of John, Jax didn't look much like him. He looked more like Clay to me, you know.
They tried to act like, oh, well, he's this tragic soul, but if you really think about it, Clay kind of had a tragic way about him, too.
And Clay, John Taylor...
And as far as...
I love JT to an extent, but to an extent, he also... His kid got sick. He couldn't handle it. He took off to Ireland, cheated on his wife, got her pregnant.
But then somehow...
Had a daughter with her, and it was like, well, I'm going to bail on you and go back to my family. It's charming. So I'm like, was JT really that good of a guy?
Oh, he wasn't. Let's just say he wasn't the upstanding citizen that you might
they try to make him out to be.
Like, I've always wanted that when he's sitting there reading the papers, and he's like, oh, well, yeah, he bailed on 2 women that he got pregnant.
Clay even said it at one point. Clay even said at one point, she's like, Jim was like, he wrote a GD book, and Clay was like, look at it. It's burned up. It probably pissed him off.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you freaking out?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel that way, too, with a lot of things. You would think if you were reading it, or I was reading it, and that was our
throw
fault,
it in the fire.
We would have just been like, screw this guy. I mean, wouldn't want no part of it. But you know, because of this show, and because I think his hatred for Clay
overwhelmed that. And I always thought it would have been really good for Jax to have found out that Clay was actually his father, like after he killed him or something.
See, that was my initial want after before Mayans come out, was for them to do something where later on they did kind of either like a backstory, or either showed the kids, but Jax's kids,
let them find it out.
Yeah, and let them find it out. But it still wouldn't have changed anything.
See, now it won't have the big shock value because Jax is dead.
Yeah, I know, Jax is dead.
If Jax had found out before he died that Clay was his dad, but then he wouldn't have killed himself that way.
Yeah, good point. I know, because he wouldn't have gone out like his dad.
And he wouldn't have killed that jury guy because
I know, because he wouldn't have cared.
If whether or not Clay killed his dad or not.
But as far as the Zobelle thing, I just kind of felt like the Zobelle thing.
I think the reason I feel like that story arc was so wasted was because they never went back to it. They never even mentioned it again. Like, hey, we still need to find Zobelle for what he did to your mom.
No, they never even mentioned his name after that, I don't think. I don't ever remember hearing about it.
Nope.
And see, that should have been like, maybe not season 3 villain, but that should have been season 4 villain once he got his kids back.
Yeah,
like that
he
should have
left
been
the country
something
too, though.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
But that's what I'm saying.
they could have
at least mentioned it. Like,
yeah,
y'all went to Ireland to find Abel. You couldn't go to wherever he went to find him. I mean, so yeah, I think it was overall. I love that show. Like,
and they didn't even have to go there. They had ties with other countries.
That show is still one of my biggest
by
passions.
far.
I still rewatch it all the time. Like I
me too.
Restart it and rewatch them all. Restart it and rewatch them all. Over and over again, but there was some plot holes. Is all I'm saying. Like,
and I felt like the Zobelle one was a big plot hole.
And if you sit here, if you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, and you're like, "Oh no, there's no plot holes," you're lying.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And Zobelle really could have been a great bad guy. I felt like.
See, I felt like A.J. Weston was a better villain than even Zobelle.
Well, yeah, A.J. Weston was a great villain. I mean,
and another wasted villain on this show. This is getting way off topic, but was Darby. Yeah, Darby could have been a.
I feel like
they rushed through that too.
But the one thing that you can say, and I know we've had this question or this thought before, is the villains on Sons of Anarchy are so much better than the villains on Mayans
absolutely.
Even though probably Mayans MC is probably.
I do ask this question, and I know a lot of Suns fans are not going to be super happy with me right now when I say this, but how good would this show have been without Kurt Sutter finishing it? Like,
yeah, I would actually agree with you. Because I mean, we would have got those answers probably about Zobelle. Mm-hmm. We would have got those answers back in probably season 4 or season 3 instead of never learning about them throughout.
And Opie might not would have ever got killed off.
Opie might not have got killed. That was the dumbest move that was.
I always thought this is how I always saw it. It with Jax going the way Jax was going. Mm-hmm. I always thought it would have been better if Opie had stayed alive and had to put Jax down himself.
That would have been awesome.
Because that was his brother. That would have been. To me, that would have been.
That would have awesome. That would have been the best ending for the whole series. I mean, yeah. You in the doghouse. Yeah, I'm in the doghouse. But overall, guys, let us know your comments on us. I know. For me personally, I wish the Zobelle thing would have got answered.
I do too.
I wish that I wish maybe season 2 maybe would have been done over a little differently. Even though season 2 overall was a pretty good season.
Now, another thing with Jax, too, that never really got answered, really, is don't you think he would have done a little bit more digging when his kid was like, why'd Grandma kill Mommy, than just be like, what? I'm going to go kill my mom.
Yeah, I know.
But, anyway.
Yeah, I kind of feel that, too. I kind of feel like...
make sure this kid ain't lying? He's just mad at your mom? Like,
I feel like as much of the problems that kid had...
Maybe you would have looked into it a little more. Yeah, maybe you would have cutting himself with what, spoons?
Yeah, and stuff? You'd be kind of like, maybe I should just check into this.
I mean, she did kill her.
Kill my mom in the head.
She did kill her, but I mean, you might would have wanted to find out for sure first.
Definitely. I had that in mind too.
That was just a question I had. Yeah. But let us know in the comments what you guys' thoughts are. If you have any requests on Sons of Anarchy's or Mayans videos you want us to do, let us know. We love doing those. We love them. So,
and don't forget to always subscribe, guys, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Like, comment,
subscribe.
Yes, subscribe.
Road to 1,000. Take care, guys.